basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Player Buddy Hield is starting a strong season with the Warriors, proving to be an elite attacker. The Warriors want to regain their dynasty, and to do so they will need to make precise moves, and one of them could be exchanging Buddy Hield for another team, so that the Warriors can acquire a great player, athletic center, and an elite defender. Rumors: Lakers want Buddy Hield and will offer Jackson Hayes and Jared Vanderbilt to the Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are off to a ferocious start. In their season opener, they defeated the Portland Trail Blazers 140-104, then turned around and bested the Utah Jazz 127-86. In both games, the Warriors' scoring effort was led by Buddy Hield, who scored 22 and 27 points off the bench, respectively. Hield, in 2 games, has emerged as an all-star candidate and has easily been the Warriors' best player. He has only missed 4 threes total and is building off a dominating performance in the preseason. The Warriors have gotten off to a nice start in the 2024-25 NBA season. After the first week of games, the team is 2-0, and after absolutely smashing the Portland Trail Blazers and the Utah Jazz. Despite losing team great Klay Thompson in the summer, they have played better than expected to begin the season. The Warriors will play the Los Angeles Clippers tonight and have a solid chance of going 3-0 to start the season for the first time since 2021-22, but that hasn't stopped Hield from being included in trade rumors. The 31-year-old is poised to have a career year, and any team would be happy to have this version of the sharpshooter. However, as the Warriors chase a championship, they are unlikely to trade him, especially for a backup big man. In a recent article by Colin Keane for The Sporting News, it was suggested that the Los Angeles Lakers could dangle either Christian Wood or Jackson Hayes in a trade, nabbing Hield from Golden State. First of all, Hield is the second-best player on the roster after Stephen Curry, and no team would take a backup center for a star-caliber player. Second of all, the frontcourt committee in Golden State of Draymond Green, Tracy Jackson-Davis, and Kevin Looney have held their own this season. Jackson-Davis is taking a sophomore leap, and Green has offered vintage performances and looks eager to make a playoff run. For the Warriors to make a league-altering deal, they would have to implode, and with the way the season has started for them, that seems incredibly unlikely. Draymond Green outlines Buddy Hield's impact after Warriors' recent win. NBA season, there were a lot of questions surrounding the Golden State Warriors. With Klay Thompson off to the Dallas Mavericks and Buddy Hield in town to take his place, it seemed like the Warriors were poised to take a step back. After 2 dominating wins to start the season, that assumption could not have been more wrong. Through 2 games with the Warriors, Hield has found his stride. He led the team in scoring in both outings and has averaged 24.5 points, and has missed only 4 shots from deep, making 75% of his attempts from behind the arc. "We know what Buddy is going to give us," said Draymond Green after the 127-87 win over the Utah Jazz. "He's been doing exactly that, and we got to make sure we keep doing a good job of finding him." Off the court, Hield fits in with the Warriors even better than he does on the court. The Warriors are a fairly young team, with Brandon Podziemski, Tracy Jackson-Davis, Moses Moody, and Jonathan Kuminga all playing key roles, and Hield, 31, has filled a veteran role alongside Green and Stephen Curry. "He is a complete team guy," continued Green. "Buddy is the guy trying to get everybody together for dinner. Buddy is the guy trying to get everyone, together to hang out." Related, Warriors outline focus of Jonathan Kuminga in contract year. While Hield's efficiency is not sustainable all season long, the Warriors seem to have perfectly replaced Thompson with another efficiency volume scorer and found the perfect second option next to Curry as they chase a playoff spot. Jonathan Kuminga's days with Warriors may be numbered according to recent rumors. Jonathan Kuminga's future with the Golden State Warriors is very much uncertain beyond this season. Heading into the NBA's rookie scale extension deadline, which was marked by the start of the regular season, the hope was that the Golden State Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga could find a middle ground on a contract extension. That didn't happen as both sides decided it was in their best interests to allow the season to play out. Stemming from that decision, there is already some potential fallout. According to a recent report, there's already growing speculation that Kuminga could have a list of suitors heading into next summer. One team to keep an eye on as Kuminga prepares for restricted free agency, in the eyes of Bleacher Report's Jake Fisher, is the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn is expected to have a pretty clean cap sheet next summer, and Kuminga could be considered a worthy gamble for the team. But the list of potential Kuminga suitors is expected to grow. Considering the Warriors may not have much more financial flexibility next summer, there's a growing chance they could be outbid in their pursuits to re-sign the talented big. Jonathan Kuminga's slow start to the season. With the hope that Kuminga would enter the season in stride, he's had an admittedly slow start to the year. Through 2 games, while the Warriors may be experiencing success, Kuminga has gotten off to a rough start. Through the first week of the season, Kuminga is averaging just 6 points and 3 rebounds on 29% shooting from the field. He's also averaging under 20 minutes per contest. It is a bit odd what has happened with Kuminga to start the season, especially considering he looked like a player primed for a breakout year. It's truly a small sample size for Kuminga, and it would be outrageous to freak out about a slow start. But it's clear that if something doesn't change quickly, it could complicate Kuminga's situation even more with the Warriors. And if the whispers are accurate that Kuminga could be drawn elsewhere next summer, perhaps it's something the Warriors may foresee and be proactive about the possibility of losing him for nothing. I wouldn't say it's likely, but would it be surprising if the Warriors explore Kuminga's trade market before the deadline? If nothing else, it's certainly something to watch and another layer to this increasingly complicated situation. Warriors guard Gary Payton II has been listed as a trade candidate for the Mavericks. In a recent article outlining the top 3 trade candidates for every team, Grant Hughes of Bleacher Report has identified Gary Payton II as a potential target for a Dallas team in need of more perimeter defense. Who wouldn't love an injection of chaotic defense next to Doncic and Irving's offensive brilliance? Dallas doesn't have an ace disruptor in the backcourt, and Payton, when healthy, causes as much trouble as anyone at the position, Hughes wrote. Thompson's historically great three-point shooting could form one of the league's most potent offenses alongside devastating shot creators Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. However, the decline in the 34-year-old's defensive capabilities post-injuries does leave a concern on how a trio of Doncic and Irving will fare on that end of the floor. The Mavericks also lost their primary wing defender in Derrick Jones Jr. during the offseason, but are hoping some of that departure can be made up by bench acquisitions Najee Marshall and Quentin Grimes. Payton could be an additional option for Dallas if their perimeter defense becomes a glaring issue once the season gets underway. Would Golden State be motivated to move a key role player to a direct conference rival though? A deal would have to benefit them and their playoff hopes, albeit Payton could be expendable given the depth on the Warrior roster. The 31-year-old is on an expiring $9.1 million deal. That number is slightly awkward looking at the Mavericks roster, unless the Warriors had interest in Maxi Kleber as a stretch big, or Marshall once he becomes trade eligible. Outside being an expiring contract, Payton wouldn't hold too much value around the league given his recent injury history that saw him limited to just 66 of a possible 164 regular season games over the last 2 years. The 2022 NBA champions saw just over 9 minutes in the Warriors' first preseason game against the LA Clippers, finishing with 2 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist in the 91-90 victory on Saturday. The Golden State Warriors and Dallas Mavericks are no strangers in the trade landscape, having each been involved in the 6-team sign-and trade that sent Klay Thompson to the Western Conference champions during the offseason. Warrior fans will have one eye on how Thompson performs in a new environment, but perhaps he's not the only Golden State champion that the Mavericks would like on their roster.